Up, everybody, and welcome back to the Dripp Strick College Football Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jacob, and this is my other co-host, Austin. How we doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing good, guys. Big week of college football. It was conference championship week, and we're glad to be here.
Very glad to be here. And we probably just had probably out of all of the playoffs that we've had so far, when it's actually been the college football playoffs where you've had 4 teams instead of 2, like how it used to be. Out of all of these, out of all of those, this has by far been the most interesting, down to the wire decision that the committee has ever had to make so far.
Yeah.
Normally, you got your 4 teams that are just, you got your like Georgia, Alabama, and then 2 other teams that did really good this year. Easy decision. This year it was tough. They had to decide between really 3 teams, I guess. Yeah, 3 teams. So you had. The final rankings were Michigan 1, Washington 2, Texas 3, Alabama 4. The controversial one is the number 4 spot. Texas, they earned their spot. Washington and Michigan obviously earned their spot. But number 4, Alabama getting in over Florida State. A lot of people were upset with that because Florida State did everything in their power that they could have done. They went 13-0, won their conference, Power 5 conference. Impressive feats. But, at first, I was originally, unhappy with the committee. I was mad about it. But, as I look at it now, Alabama would beat the crap out of Florida State right now. They would.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost to Texas in, week 3. But their improvement throughout the entire season is insane. They're, really good team. I'm not mad about the decision anymore. But I just feel so bad for Florida State.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Travis tweeted out, he said, "I wish I broke my leg earlier in the season just so everyone else could see that this team is much more than a quarterback." And that was just it hurt. That one hurt to read. It was heartbreaking. But overall, I thought it was a good decision by the committee. But it really sucks for Florida State.
Yeah, man, I gotta. If we recorded this on Sunday, man, we could have talked for 3 hours because I was just so opinionated. I'm gonna put my shades on, man. Put these shades on for this. Playoff committee, y'all got this completely wrong. It's a shame what y'all did. I'm being dead serious. It's a shame what y'all did. Obviously, I'm glad this is all getting redone. We don't have to fool with this next year, but this was a shame. I feel so bad for these Florida State players. It's completely unfair. They've won every single game they should have. They did it with their third string quarterback. They beat the 14th ranked best team with their third string quarterback. It just doesn't make any sense. You're going to win every single game and not make the playoff as a Power 5 school. A Power 5 school. Group of 5, I understand. Liberty didn't make the playoff because they're not Power 5. A Power 5 school who beat Clemson, who beat LSU, who beat Louisville. I think it's completely unfair to these guys. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up about Jordan Travis. when I read that tweet, I was just heartbroken. I couldn't believe it.
It is.
And yeah, it's a shame what they did. It really is. I don't understand how they came up with it. I really don't. When I saw Texas at number 3, I was like, they're going to put Bama at number 4. And I don't understand. The committee having a 12-team playoff next year, like I said, is going to completely redo it. But this 14 playoff was already a flawed system when it came out. And obviously, we've been reaping the rewards. When people said, we don't want to have another playoff like last year, with TCU and Georgia. Well, they freaking beat Michigan. Michigan, who went undefeated. Michigan, who they were complete frauds last year.
Oh, yeah.
But they beat Michigan. It's not like they just had a bye week into the national championship. They beat Michigan, okay? They beat a great undefeated team. So I'm just saying right now. Do I think Florida State would have won a playoff game? Probably not. I think they should have been number 3. I think they should have been over Texas, obviously, because Texas lost the game to Oklahoma, who is not even in this conversation about even being in the top 10 or top 12. So Texas should be number 4. Florida State should be number 3. I just think it's completely unfair. And that makes it a lot more interesting with Washington versus Florida State. I think Washington would win that game, but either way, I think they got it completely wrong. And I'm so glad we don't have to, put up with this next year because it's just a sad time. It's a sad time.
So you're telling me that Florida State should be in over Alabama or Texas?
100%. Just because.
Do you think this Florida State team, without Jordan Travis, could beat Texas or Alabama?
No, but I don't think it matters. I mean, they changed the rules for them.
It's the 4 best though.
It doesn't matter. They won every single game. That shows that they're the best. I'm just saying.
Best.
I like teams that don't lose games.
It's the 4 best.
The 3rd and 4th spot lost games. I'm
Texas.
saying.
All right, their only loss against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Rivalry game, Red River rivalry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what game did Florida State lose? They didn't lose a game. They went undefeated.
Alabama lost to Texas.
Yep, at home.
They were going to put Alabama in no matter what, I feel like. So they had to put in Texas because then...
No, I think they're going to put in Texas no matter. I think the Bama and Florida State were the 1 and 2. I think that... I mean, I feel so bad for Florida State fans. I had to put myself in this situation. Mississippi State somehow made the college football playoff, and like if they went undefeated, they beat everybody. I would be so mad. Like my week, my month would be absolutely ruined if they went undefeated and didn't make the playoff. You got to put yourself in their situation. If Auburn did that, would you be mad? Yes, you'd be talking and just stating your case so bad. So I'm just saying, I think it's completely unfair. Alabama lost a game at home. Yes, to Texas, who they won, but they still lost the game. And they're not the same team as they were. But Florida State never lost a game. They went undefeated against some great teams. And obviously, they don't have the strength of schedule as Alabama does, but I don't really think it matters when they still have impressive wins against LSU at a neutral site, against Louisville with their 3rd-string quarterback, true freshman, his first ever start. You know, they beat Florida at the Swamp with their 2nd-string quarterback. I just think, I'm telling you, Florida State should have got in, and I'm glad we don't have to fool with it next year.
But you watched that Louisville game.
Yes.
I'm sorry to keep talking about this, but you watched that Louisville game, that offense was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrendous.
It was not very
they
good.
didn't get a first down till they didn't even get a first down. I don't even think it was. They didn't get first down in the first half, did they?
I don't know, but it wasn't very good. They only scored like 13.
Yeah, it was not a good game.
But still, with their 3rd-string quarterback, and if they made the playoff, they would have had their 2nd-string quarterback back. Like Tate Rodemaker would have been back for that game. You know, Johnny Wilson, he's still playing their bowl game. I mean, they got to play Georgia. Let's see how they play against them. But I don't know.
Speaking of which, let's go ahead and just dive into that game, the Capital One Orange Bowl, Florida State and Georgia. Now this game is very interesting because if Florida State wins this game, the whole country is going to look like a bunch of idiots. But I'm leaning towards Georgia here. It's too early to tell if all these star players on Georgia are going to actually play in this game. Brock Bowers, Carson Beck, Lad McConkey. If they're even going to play in this game or just go to the draft. Carson Beck, I just don't see him going to the draft this year. I don't think he's shown enough that he deserves to be in the NFL right now. Florida State, they just lost their best pass rusher. They're playing with their 2nd-string quarterback. I bet they're all just, the morale is super low in that locker room right now because they feel like they've been robbed. So give me Georgia in this one. But I'll be rooting for Florida State though.
Yeah, I feel you. And, I think we're going to talk more about these games closer to when they get. Like you said, people are going to declare for the draft. And, since it's not a playoff game, there will probably be players that are I'm not playing. So, yeah, I think as of right now, though, it's December 6th. I think I got Georgia. I think Florida State's going to play with so much fire, though. And I want to continue to talk about that. Florida State's going to play with so much fire. They're going to be so hyped up and amped up and keyed up from not making the playoffs. So they're going to show that, they should be a playoff team. But yeah, Georgia, I think would you say Georgia is the 2nd best team right now
in the country?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No, I think no.
Wow.
I mean, throughout the entire season, they played a bunch of nobodies. They didn't have a tough schedule at all.
Mm-hmm.
They did have, SEC teams, but the level they're playing, they should be playing, Texas, Alabama in the regular season.
Yeah, I understand.
But they struggle with Missouri, who is very good, top 10 team. They struggle with Auburn, not a good team. And then they lose to Alabama. In that game, right, the SEC championship, I thought after both the teams' first drives, I thought it was wrapped. I thought it was over. Georgia literally marched down the field in seconds, scored so easily. Alabama did horribly on their first drive, but then it just flipped.
Yeah.
And Alabama really just, was in control of that whole game, I feel like.
Yeah. No, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, Georgia's a great team, though, and I think they want to show that they're one of the 4 best teams, because, I mean, even them, they just won 29 games straight and then won 29 games straight and then lost to Alabama, who was a number 8 at the time. So,
yeah. I mean, it's
you know,
still very impressive. They
yeah.
won 29 straight.
Georgia's, I mean, they had a heck of a season though, and I think they want to show that they should have also been in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be a heck of a matchup, and I look forward to seeing that.
We're going to talk about the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, Missouri and Ohio State. I think this game will be very interesting. Kyle McCord transferring, he's not playing, so I have no idea who will start at quarterback. It'll be probably the other kid.
Yeah, Devin Brown's probably going to get the start.
Then they had like a quarterback competition at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
He'll get the start. Missouri ranked number 9. They've had an excellent season. If you would have told me last year that Missouri was going to be ranked number 9th at the end of the year, I would have slapped you in the face, called you crazy.
Yeah.
But Brady Cook has been playing really well. Missouri fans, for some reason, hate him and love him the next week. He'll have one, not super great game. They'll hate him. Next week, they'll love him.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take Missouri in this one. I don't know. I'm not sure if Marvin Harrison Jr. will play. I got a weird feeling that he will. He might. He's a really, really great guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like he'll be there for his team. So he might play in that one, but give me Missouri in this one.
Wow, okay.
I'm taking the upset.
Shoot, yeah, this is going to be a close game. I mean, Brady Cook's been playing out of his mind since like week 3. He's been playing great. Luther Burden, he's such a good wide receiver. But Devin Brown, I mean, he was not playing like a scrub when he was in versus Ohio State. Obviously, he couldn't beat out Kyle McCord, but obviously with McCord leaving, I mean, I don't know. A lot of players have entered the transfer portal from Ohio State. So I think this is another game, we see if Marvin Harrison's playing. Chris Fleming, also their wide receiver, also entered the transfer portal. So they're having a lot of guys into the transfer portal. But I feel like there's another game that we might need to wait a few weeks to see who's going to play and who's not. I mean, Cody Schrader, let's see if he's going to play for Missouri. Luther Burden might not play. So we'll probably see. Right now, I'm leaning towards Ohio State, but I think that it could change with, if Marvin Harrison declares, if other people declare for the draft. I think Missouri definitely has a role to play in this game for sure.
Next up, we got the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Ole Miss, and Penn State. I already know what his answer is on this, and I already know who he's going to say. Ole Miss, Jackson Dart is coming back next year. It's already been confirmed. He might change his mind. We don't know. But Ole Miss, Penn State, this one's tough. But I'm going with Ole Miss here. I just don't think Penn State is quite there yet. They will be in, I bet, 2 years. Give them 2 years. Yeah. Let Drew Aller develop a little bit more. He's had high highs and low lows. Mm-hmm. Give them time to develop more. They'll be really good in maybe a year or two. But give me Ole Miss in this one. I just think, they're just better.
Yeah, no, I got you. Obviously, Penn State, they've got a lot of guys on the team. Drew Aller, Nick Singleton, running back. They've got some straight up guys who can just ball out in the Big Ten. They've kept it close in big games. They haven't been able to win big games, but they've done what they need to do. And Ole Miss, I mean, they've beaten everybody that they need to, but I mean, they looked really bad against Alabama. But then again, who doesn't? But I mean, there's some other games that they haven't looked great in. And I don't know. I just think Penn State has more just straight up talent than them. I'm just being serious. I'm being serious, and I think James Franklin gets that big win in the Peach Bowl. Just saying.
All right, and then the last New Year's Six Bowl before we get to playoff games is the Verbo Fiesta Bowl between Liberty and Oregon. Liberty 13-0. At literally the season after they lost their head coach, Hugh Freeze obviously went to Auburn, and they're stinking 13-0. And then you got Oregon, whose only 2 losses were against number 2 Washington. Mm-hmm. This is a game we're gonna have to wait to see for Oregon because we don't know if Bo Nix will play in this one or if he'll just declare, skip this, and move on with his life. So if Bo Nix plays in this one, I got Oregon. If he doesn't, I got Liberty. Give me Liberty.
Okay.
I feel like 13-0. I feel like number 23 for them is really, really. I just low. I feel like they should be way higher. I feel like they should be top 15 at least.
Yeah.
13-0 is impressive no matter what conference you're in.
That's true.
So it really depends on quarterback in Oregon for me. So
I got you.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I'm so glad Liberty gets to play in a New Year's Six Bowl. Obviously, I like Liberty. They're fun. I spent 3 weeks in Lynchburg, Virginia, where Liberty is this summer, and just being around Liberty fans, I thought it was really cool and a good environment. Jamie Chadwell, year one, first year in Conference USA, they go undefeated. They win the conference. I mean, that was so impressive. And like I said, I'm glad they're getting their shot to show that, they're a legit team. Against Oregon, I don't think Bo Nix will play. I think it's probably going to be Ty Thompson getting the start. But, I seriously doubt Bo Nix plays this game. I don't really know why he would. But yeah, give me Oregon just because talent. I don't know. I mean, I love Liberty runs the gun triple option where it's like it's triple option but in shotgun, and it's so fun to watch. And they've got a lot of great players offensively, but I think Oregon I think the talent will show in the Fiesta Bowl. I think it's just going to be, I don't know, just going to be too much for Liberty for sure.
Yeah, I would love to see Liberty win, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be
fun.
Awesome. All right, now let's get into our playoff games. We'll do, closer when it gets closer to the games. We'll do a deeper dive into these games. But right now, we're just gonna, we're just gonna talk about it a little bit from what we see from our, first views at the game. The Rose Bowl, Alabama and Michigan, number 1 versus number 4. This one, out of the 2 playoff games, I feel like, well, I don't know. I feel like Texas Washington will be a lot better. I don't know. Both these playoff games are really good. Yeah. I love it. I love the matchups. Michigan has not played a quarterback like Jalen Milroe yet. All the quarterbacks they've played have not been super, mobile, versatile. They haven't really, played a mobile quarterback like Jalen Milroe is. So we'll have to see how that defense does against him. Because let me tell you, as an Auburn fan, he is so annoying to play against. Yeah, he's so annoying. It's like playing with Lamar Jackson in Madden or, back in Madden 04, Michael Vick. He's so annoying to play against because, for whatever reason, teams only rush 3. They only rush, 4. And he'll just find a way out of that. He has all day to throw. As much as it hurts to say this, give me Alabama in this one. I just feel like Jalen Milroe and his legs, he's really heated up, especially on this final stretch of the season. This whole team has just really developed really well. So give me Alabama in this one.
Okay. Yeah, I know it hurts to say. That, but give me Alabama. I think that was an outstanding pick. I also got Alabama beating Michigan. Michigan, they're a team full of frauds. I mean, this is their 3rd year in the playoff, and they have never won a playoff game. I think that's unbelievable. And this is their win to win the national championship, and they're not winning the national championship. I saw the team, and I saw the clip of them showing when Alabama was put at number 4. I knew them boys was going to lose right when I saw that clip. Alabama's going to win. Jalen Milroe, like you said, you brought up a great point about him. They're not used to quarterbacks like him. They're used to Rutgers quarterbacks, people like that. People who just can't play. Jalen Milroe can play. I mean, he's really showed it. I mean, gosh, he showed it. He can move. He can throw it. If you give him time, he's going to kill you. And they got a big win against Georgia, so they legitimately think they're the best team in the nation right now. Give me Bama, and we'll see how it goes. But I think Bama will win it.
Yeah, Jalen Milroe's development just this season, just during the season, instead of Tommy Rees' development as a offensive coordinator, has just been stellar. It's been incredible. Jalen Milroe, I mean, he has high highs and then very low lows. He just needs to find like a perfect just medium, and he's he'll win Heisman. He can do whatever he wants. But I'm really excited to watch that game. All right, now the second playoff game is the All-State Sugar Bowl, and I don't think this one will be. I don't think it'll be too close.
Wow.
I think Texas has really bad pass defense. They just don't have a great pass defense.
Yeah.
Washington has one of the best pass offenses in the country. So I'm taking Washington early in this one. I'm taking Washington, and I just think that they control. I don't care how their defense plays.
So you think Washington's going to win big?
I don't think it'll be too big. Like I don't think it'll be 2 touchdowns. I think it'll be a touchdown, maybe 10 points, touchdown, field goal. But I just give me Washington in this one. And just solely off the fact that Texas has just not a great pass defense.
Yeah,
and that's crucial when playing Washington. You got to defend the pass because they're just gonna throw it all over the field if you don't have a good pass defense.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very high scoring game. I mean, both of these offenses have been on the money. Texas put up 49 points against Oklahoma State. They absolutely whooped them in the Big 12 championship. So I think I mean, I need to do a little bit more research on this game before I can make a guesstimation. But if I were to pick right now, if I were to pick today, I would say Washington just because of how explosive their offense is. And
they're getting their best receiver back.
Yeah. I mean, they got Rome Odunze, Dylan Johnson at running back, obviously Michael Penix Jr. I mean, they got Polk at wide receiver. They got a lot of really good guys at Washington. I think it's going to be very hard for Texas to stop. But, I mean, I feel like my answer could change in 2 weeks. I mean, Texas have been playing fantastic all year. So, but yeah, as from now, I say give me Washington.
All right, so now we're going to go into our Heisman talk. The finalists were revealed. It's Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Out of those four, I'm taking Jaden Daniels. They went 9-3.
Yeah, I think so.
They didn't have a great year as a team, LSU, but that's also their defense. Jaden Daniels, he put up incredible numbers throughout the entire season. He was throwing for 400 yards, and then he run 200 yards on you. He's just an incredible runner.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr., although he did play great, statistically, I think Malik Neighbors was better.
Yeah, he was.
Malik Neighbors had an incredible season too. But Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix are also two, very, very possible candidates. I think Bo Nix more than Michael Penix. Michael Penix he had a couple games where he just wasn't great. And Bo Nix, was just Bo Nix. He played great. But out of those four, I'm taking Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. It's so weird to pick Jaden Daniels just because I feel like, LSU, they're not in any playoff conversations, obviously. But I think just looking at statistics, he's better than Michael Penix, and he's way better than Bo Nix. And like you said, Malik Neighbors from LSU also has better stats than Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr., he just plays big, he plays better in bigger moments. I think that's why he's gotten a lot more looks. But yeah, give me Jaden Daniels as well. It's not really much to talk about. I think Jaden Daniels has got it.
Yeah, other than Jaden Daniels, there's really no one else that's putting up numbers quite like he is.
Yeah.
I feel like if Brock Bowers didn't get hurt, he could be in this talk too. Brock Bowers is a heck of a player.
He definitely could.
But I think that's all I got for this episode. You got anything
else? No, that's all I got for this episode. I feel like next week we can talk about maybe bowl predictions. Obviously the bowls came out last selection Sunday, so we'll see who we predict for the bowls that are coming up. But man, I'm excited. Mm-hmm. Is it outro time?
It's outro time, man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, let us know what you think about the college football playoff, the Heisman, the games. The New Year's Six bowls. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe if you have not already. Leave a like on the video. Thank you so much for watching. It means so much to us, and thank you. Out.